Thank you so much for speaking with me here at We Were Young Music Festival in Las Vegas. You guys are no strangers to the festival. The third, fourth time around that you guys perform here.
I'm barely listening because I'm looking at this girl behind you scrolling through these 6 shots, man. We look great. Okay, for the listeners out there, there's a photographer in the press tent. There's a press tent. Everybody's in here. The Kings are in here. Taking Back Sundays behind us. And she's going through her photos of our set, and there was a hot one. That was that distraction.
Bowling for Soup. They actually have a dedicated segment where they will freeze so everyone will take pictures of them. They'll break their set to have everyone have a moment. And you kind of did that earlier when you guys were performing Great Escape, where we're like, okay, phones out. After that, it's like, it's us time. Yeah.
Wait, did you watch it?
I did. I was there.
Did it work?
Trying to I think it did work because also my phone, it was like heating up.
Yeah.
So I was like, I better put the phone down. So
I was at that point of the show, I was kind of blacked out. It was hot. And it's a 30-minute set.
Yeah.
You don't have time to take it off. It's a 30-minute set. You got to crank 12 songs into it. I don't even have time to do an outfit change.
Mm-hmm.
I think it worked. You know, we've been doing it for a minute because I think it gives people an opportunity to live in the moment. It's a way to pep the song they came to hear. Taking contrary action sometimes is important. I think a lot of people get sick of the song they've played 50,000 times. You know what I mean? Every radio lounge, every acoustic show, it's the one people want to hear. And you look inward at yourself and you say, okay, I wrote this when I was 18. We're all pushing 40. And it's like, do I want to play this? And it's like the contrary action is play it twice, right? That's the contrary action.
You mentioned about Limp Bizkit doing it before, and I've seen Limp Bizkit.
Best show I've ever seen in my life was Baby Bash in San Antonio. Jingle Jam or Jingle Bash or Kiss Miss Ball, comes on stage, 3-song set, plays Cyclone. He's got 15 guys waving friggin' towels moves a body like a cyclone, goes off stage, comes on, plays Sugarfly, goes off stage, comes back on, plays Cyclone again, set over. I'm like, I admire that.
But I'm glad that you played a couple of songs off your last record, Sunday at Foxwoods, because I think that's a fantastic record. And I feel like you guys progressed from your debut album. And then you kind of plugged that what's coming up for next year. You guys are going to be celebrating your 20th anniversary of your debut album.
Look at you taking notes. You've prepped. You've done a little research. You watched the stage banter to try to kind of infiltrate, get more deets. I dropped a hint on stage.
Mm-hmm.
You're good at your job. Is there a question or were you making a statement?
No, I'm making a statement so you guys could discuss further.
To discuss further?
We should talk about this. We haven't talked about this yet. Should we do this? Should we do something?
If you were us, what do you think we should do to celebrate the anniversary?
To celebrate?
Ooh.
The flat iron hair.
Do the flat iron?
I still flat iron my hair.
Yeah.
What else?
Greg's a gatekeeper of Greg is the keeper of the flat iron though.
Because it's such a millennial festival, some iPod trading. And you mentioned you gave your history, and you guys mentioned it back in 2012, which is the year I graduated high school.
Whoa.
Yeah, I already had my high school reunion. But you mentioned about having a hiatus and then coming back. Is there a band that's currently broken up or they're at a hiatus where you wish they would make a comeback?
A band I wish would make a comeback?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Oasis already did.
Oasis was the one I really wanted. You should see the video of Jamel soaked in bottles of piss or whatever was being thrown on him, having a biblical experience.
Seeing Oasis at the Rose Bowl was a lifelong dream come true. That was just last month.
Well, because all of them are doing farewell tours. Yeah.
I think the Oasis thing was pretty spiritual. I think it was for a lot of people. Something has changed spiritually with the music listener since 2020. And I think that is just music has become super algorithmic. It changed a lot with streaming. It changed even worse when that, algorithm flipped and people think specifically, you can't even blame a younger artist for writing to their phone as opposed to themselves. And so I think what's happened is it's created a big yearning for music people grew up with. Specifically, I think it's just harder to break through the noise. There's so many songs being uploaded to streaming platforms every day. So, I don't even know somebody who hasn't reunited. It feels like everybody's getting over their beef, putting their record out. You got one?
All 5 members of NSYNC need to reunite and do it.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
That'll never happen.
I think it might.
Right? Because Backstreet Boys are doing a residency at the Sphere. Yeah.
And people are raving about it. They extended it. I like the NSYNC play. I think that's a great one. That's a good pull. I didn't even think about that. I understand why everybody's doing the tour. It creates a density that's like harder. If like you do this to feed your family, we got to compete with this, this other sort of nostalgic act. I think it's interesting because, in 2014, you would consider a lot of the bands that played this festival pretty cooked, and it's bigger than ever. Grateful for whatever it is. Everybody's, dude, like a second lease on the ability to hum melodies on stage, for a living. Pretty big blessing.
Speaking of nostalgia, some of the bands performing today, All Time Low, Avril Lavigne, the Somerset Red Jumpsuit, these are bands that you performed in the past. Is it a bit of a reunion kind of backstage? You guys catch up?
It ends up being like when you zoom out, it's a pretty hot scene. We grew up with these kids.
Mm-hmm.
We're men now, or ladies,
Parents.
but yeah, parents. So the conversation has changed quite a bit, and the dynamic has changed quite a bit. And I think the urgency to sort of get into some bad boy territory has shifted for a lot of people, even the ones who aren't, recovering drug addicts. But the scene's good, dude. Everybody's really encouraging. And I think that you got to be pretty deluded to not see the joy here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody's been handed a lease, like on their first record from when we were 17. Like, that's a joy and a gift and an opportunity, and that opportunity is like, we get to play one more tour. We get to play the songs live one more time. We get to pay homage to the people who dug into music we wrote, before smartphone. I don't know. We try not to lose sight of that. We remind ourselves in the huddle every time we go out, what a joy and a grateful thing this is to be able to do. So.
And you guys made even friends with the Jonas Brothers, Marshmello. You guys went on tour with them. You came to
John wore
in San Francisco.
John wore the Marshmello hat, dude. He got to try on the hat, the helmet. John came in the dressing room, dude. His eyes were bulging. He's like, I got to put on the hat. Beautiful opportunity. Grateful for the brothers. It was shocking to us to see like third show in, and I've said this to the guys a couple of times, but it was like, I think contextually after 12 years off, we got sort of blanket popped back into this world of when we were younger, Warped Tour or, the Face Fest type of energy. But, in the moment back then, we were really kind of a radio band. We were playing more jingle balls or whatever, or doing more radio lounges than we were playing kind of shows like this. And it was cool to be thrown into the epicenter of that. Significant number of them, the Jonas fans, knew our hits. A lot of times the casual music listener, like I don't know that the When We Were Young ticket buyer is like a casual music listener. Casual music listeners, sort of hard to find. Half of them are like listening to algorithmic Zach Bryan playlists, you know what I mean? And like working a job and they got kids and stuff. So I don't know. It was a huge opportunity for us to reclaim some of those people who maybe knew us back then or burnt a CD in 2007 and forgot they had it in their visor or that it got skipped and they never listened to it again. And, we got the opportunity to go play for those people that might not have bought a ticket to a Boys Like Girls show, but they're going to buy a ticket to Jonas Brothers to relive their high school days. And, we got to play for them and maybe win them over. It's a huge opportunity that brothers gave us. We're pretty grateful for it.
And I remember when you guys started out, like long time ago, you did a cover of, is it Frou Frou?
I think you pronounce it Frou Frou, but I mean, I could be wrong.
Tomato.
I think it's Frou Frou.
You guys covered her song Let Go, and she's on that app Cameo. So if she were to give you guys a message to Boys Like Girls, what would you want to hear?
Dude, honestly, I would give her a message.
She's on.
We had just played TRL when we did that AOL sessions, and my voice cracked super bad. Your voice, the male voice doesn't change until you're 26. We do The Great Escape. It's got this big high note. You're kind of just like, I'm going to sing as high as I possibly can, at least to impress people. You're 18. We were obsessed with that Garden State soundtrack, and we had an opportunity to do something super musical, but doing that cover, I remember going from people like being, you have a hard vocal performance, people roast you online. And it was a pretty big shift where, we did the AOL sessions. We did Let Go. It's a pretty technically difficult song to sing. And the tone on the internet shifted pretty good. And I don't know. I think it's such a beautiful piece. I think, the way that she incorporates both like, the head voice and her mix range. I kind of tried to do it in the original key so I could get some of her yodels right. And it was a cool challenge. When we do covers, we try to do the hardest ones possible, like we just did with the Tarzan.
Love that cover.
Let's do the hardest, most untouchable cover you can possibly do. We just did I Don't Want to Miss a Thing out with the Jonas Brothers on the last day.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can't touch that. It's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
We're going to play somebody else's song. Let's do the hardest one ever.
Kiss from a Rose.
You got to Kiss from a Rose and then we'll really lock it in.
About that for like 3 years. That would be so sick.
We tried it. It's almost too hard.
Yeah, tribute to Val Kilmer because that was in like the Batman movie. Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad you brought up TRL because sadly MTV, it's pulling the plug off the air, and you really got your start off.
Is MTV cooked? They're done?
I think so. I think it started in the UK, and now it's happening in the US. The channels.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Isn't it just 24 hours of Rob Deerdeck at this point?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is sort of just like pulling up YouTube videos, right? And watching them on a, it's interesting because you can kind of just scroll TikTok for that. I haven't watched like cable.
After Carson
TikTok and
Daly
Instagram,
left,
like, why would
I feel
you
like
go
it
on?
tanked.
I mean, our thing was so important. It was like MTV, VH1, and Fuse were as important as radio. I mean, like I remember how important TRL was. It was vital. You know, we were on Warped Tour, and like, you know, Great Escape being on TRL changed our life forever. I'll never forget it. When we topped the TRL and we were like on this spotty connection backstage at Warped, trying to phone into Damien. You know, that's crazy. I didn't know. I feel a little strange. That's
You're like,
strange.
what? You're like slapping the face.
That's weird.
I got a message for MTV, right? You want to save yourself? Love Island was so big. Bring the real world back. Literally bring the real world and the challenge back, and you're done. You're back. That's it.
I bet they'll pivot to some sort of streaming thing. It's just got to be a pivot. Like, wait, do you have a Comcast subscription? I have YouTube TV for sports.
How has music healed you individually?
Boy, she's right to the jugular.
Yeah, the
I'm like
therapy
my
question.
cogging right now. So just like, let me just shove it in your mouth.
Really emotionally affects me, so I don't listen to a ton of it. I drive with the music off, but yeah, I mean, it obviously changed my life. Like, this is what I do for a job, and we do for a job, and that's a difficult one.
I don't know that I would call it a healing. It's created me in a way. I don't know that I was broken and then got healed. I think in some ways music actually destroyed me also, you know, because it gave me a platform in my early 20s to completely destruct my body. But I think it created, I'll speak for myself, created me, probably us. And I think when I think about it as a healing piece, we have an opportunity in some circumstances, not all, show up in a room and just the presence will make somebody's day because you have healed them. That's a lot of power. Sometimes I don't really know what to do with it because it's, you know, somebody will tell you, you saved my life. And I'm like, whoa, you just gave me a lot of power.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how comfortable I feel. I don't know you. And my involvement in, you know, your mental health journey is confusing. Why? I just wrote some songs that meant something to me when I was 17 years old, and your journey with them is your business. I have a different perspective about it now because I look at the crowd today. I can't really see the end of it for a fact that there's a gift that we've been given as men. And that gift is that we have the ability by getting on a plane, putting on a jacket or some leather pants, rehearsing a bit, hanging out with your best buds, and getting on stage. You can transform maybe not somebody's life, but maybe their week, maybe their weekend. You can change somebody's perspective if they're feeling really lousy. That can change with one performance. And that's power I feel comfortable with. And that's power that I'm grateful for. I do see that as a mutual heal. And I'll answer it this way, and I'm sorry for talking a long time. Have you ever heard of cranial sacral massage? Okay. So I was about to ride my bicycle across the country in 2021, and I was having wicked bad pain in my neck. And this cranial sacral, basically, it's a scientific process, but it's like it moves the spinal fluid. The guys are looking around like, dude, shut the fuck up. All right, so it moves the spinal fluid. So this therapist and this healer puts her hands on my throat, and she goes, "Are you a public speaker?" She's like, "There's all this blocked energy on your throat." And I say, "I'm a singer, but my band hasn't performed in 10 years. And she's like, looked me in the eye, stopped the treatment. She's like, "You need to go sing. It's going to change your healing journey, and it's going to heal your throat and your voice. That's connected to your power, and it's also connected to, you know, what you were put on the earth to do." Some of that is woo-woo. Some of that is actually my spinal fluid talking to this person. We made a new record. We went on tour. We haven't stopped since that appointment.
It's the strongest record in my opinion.
Thank you.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So I don't know. Maybe you can edit that and use the last piece because I got to the healing part
I wanted
late.
to hear cry, but it's okay.
I would say that, like, you know, when I'm on tour and I'm singing every day, you know, the chronic pain element pretty much disintegrates, which is cool.
Okay.
Question.
Took a second to get to the heart of it, didn't it? It's like,
That's a difficult
that-
question.
when you
Yeah.
think
Really
about the
good.
mutual healing with the fan.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay, it's October. Halloween's around the corner. Favorite Halloween candy if you guys eat candy.
Rolos.
I'm gonna sit by saying we don't
I don't-
eat candy.
I like
that's-
dark chocolate.
Yeah.
But I
We don't
feel
really
like
eat candy, but if
Halloween-
we're gonna cheat and be bad, I mean, I gotta go with Butterfinger. Anything
dude.
peanut butter and chocolate is.
I'm a peanut butter chocolate
You
situation
guys
as well.
have great skin.
I
That's
love a
why I can
spree.
tell you guys don't eat candy.
You like a spree?
I like a spree.
free.
I
You
like
are the spree.
I do. Hold on. Do you like jelly bellies too?
What the fuck was a jelly belly?
It's a jelly bean.
Martin likes Twizzlers.
I used to like Twizzlers.
Disgusting amount.
I think
he rotted his teeth out.
Well, when you're doing a lot of drugs, I think that your palate
Yeah, but I was
changes.
doing a
I
lot of
couldn't
drugs.
taste shit.
I was doing a lot of drugs too, and I didn't like.
You didn't like Twizzlers?
I fucking disgusting. Absolute.
I would
ass.
rack a whole pack. Like the only thing I could taste
Rather
in
eat
like
my own
late
ass.
2009 was like jelly beans. Like I'm pretty off the sugar, but
When
if
was the
I
last
feel,
time you ate a Twizzler.
dude, if I feel really, 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 really
You're feeling
depressed
down.
and I'm in a hotel, I'll go down to that little, Radisson store,
Sometimes-
like 4 a.m. and get some peanut M&Ms.
Sometimes I see Martin wandering around the hotel, looking off into the distance with a bag of M&Ms in his hand. I know something's wrong.
Oh,
Because I'll eat like sugar maybe like once every like 6 weeks, Something's bad, dude. When I hit the M&Ms or the Reese's cups, it's smoke, dude.
okay.
Look out for your boy.
All right. I know you guys have a studio in Nashville. I've never been to Nashville. I do want to go. So, what are some hot spots, restaurants, music bar clubs?
Dino's.
Okay.
Get a burger at Dino's.
Lavera Pizza. I've ordered probably 100 to 200, maybe 300.
Is that where you get
Maybe.
the Hawaiian?
It's so fucking
You love
good.
Hawaiian pizza?
No, this specific pizza, it's like a shithole. It's awesome. Lavera Pizza. I like that.
What an endorsement. It's a shithole.
I don't know. I've never been. I don't even know if it's.
Give it the Portnoy review. What's the Portnoy scale?
I mean, his scale it wouldn't be very good.
Because you like some crispy and
it's
cheese.
only one specific pizza.
Lastly, I not only do I work at a radio station, I work for a news station. So if you guys can come
ma'am.
up with a news headline, anything that comes onto your head, it could be music related or whatever.
We're back, baby.
A news headline. John's saying we're back, baby.
Boys like
Been
Martin-
back for a
Martin
second.
of Boys Like
You
Girls
smell that?
overdoses on peanut M&Ms.
That's a good one.
And we'll
the
end it
greatest
on
band of all
that.
time.
Guys, thank you so much.
You're
All
wonderful.
right.
I appreciate it, Doc.
Thank you.